Hey ho! How are you? What's going on? I got a really interesting DM on Instagram and she asked me to talk about my pregnancies when I was a teenager. I thought it was really great and she said it would help her. So of course, you know me, if people can learn from it, I'm gonna talk about it even if that makes me look like a horrible person. I've been pregnant 3 times. This is not like gonna be a fun video. It's not like this is about my abortion. It's not fun. I'm so uncomfortable already. Okay, let's just get into it. I got pregnant when I was 13. And it was no ordinary pregnancy. It was the baby of my drug dealer. Eek, awkward. I had a really crazy upbringing, just so bad in many ways. You can probably start to guess if I got pregnant when I was 13 by my drug dealer. That was a no-brainer. I didn't want that baby. I barely knew what sex was. I think I started having sex when I was 12. So pregnant at 13. I did ask my mother, however, to be on birth control. And she was like, why would you want to be on birth control? And I was like, why do people get on birth control? And she just went the route of being in denial that I was having sex. She's like, no, I don't want you on birth control. I was like, I really want to be on it. I tried to get it. She said no. I don't remember why I wasn't using condoms at 13. I was using drugs. I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to fucking hear it. I'm trying to tell you the story. It sounds so freaking bad. It sounds terrible. It is terrible because it is. I found out about the pregnancy in the most ironic way ever. It was April Fool's and I wanted to pretend that I was pregnant because my mom had a baby that year and she had like some leftover pregnancy tests and they were expired even, and I was like, whatever, I'm gonna take it. No, it wasn't. I was gonna pretend I was pregnant and I was gonna pencil in the lines with a blue marker, and I decided to just pee on it instead to see like what color the blue was, to see if I could match it and like make it more authentic. Like, I really was going for authenticity. I didn't realize how authentic it would be because it came out positive on its own. So I found out I was pregnant on April Fool's Day while I was trying to prank my mom on April Fool's Day, making her think I was pregnant. She didn't think it was a prank for 1 second. I barely remember telling her because I was horrified. I barely remember telling her. I do remember the first thing she just said is, what are you gonna do? And I was kind of relieved because I thought that I had to have it. I didn't know that I was even gonna be given an option. I just thought I was gonna get punished and be like, wow, you had sex and now you're gonna have a baby. She asked me what I was gonna do, so I told her it was Mark's, and I was like, I don't want it. And she's like, okay. I was 6 weeks pregnant. I was smoking at the time. I smoked so many cigarettes. I'm smoking my whole life, but I don't anymore. I haven't smoked cigarettes in years. Anyway, I remember that when I smoked cigarettes, they tasted like different foods. And pasta sauce made me vomit. It was crazy. So we went to Planned Parenthood and confirmed everything, and I ended up getting the abortion, I think 2 weeks later. I don't think it cost any money, or if it did, it was minimal. So thank you, Planned Parenthood, for helping me not have my drug dealer's baby. I have a much better life now. So many things. I remember my stepsister took me to get the abortion, and when I woke up, she wasn't there. She like went shopping. So I woke up hysterically crying, and they don't like pamper you. They were like, okay, you got your abortion, go home now. So I like got up and I was like in the waiting room, and they're like, okay, go home, and there was just no one there. And it was so sad. It was horrible. She eventually came. She was like irritated that my abortion was done early. I don't feel like I remember much of the recovery, but that would be good news since it wasn't excruciating, that I have a terrible memory of it. I do remember being depressed for a while afterwards, just things had changed at home, and I did end up getting that birth control. My drug dealer at the time, I wasn't on hardcore drugs when I was in my early teens. It was just like smoking weed and drinking alcohol. I did end up going to rehab when I was 14. I had a mental breakdown and I needed to detox, and I spent some time away and in an institution trying to just get my head back on. I didn't really go back, not for several years later. Then I got pregnant again, and I got pregnant when I got out of another institution that I was at for a year. That was a state-run facility. Whole nother story for another time. I just don't want to bother you with my sadness right now. We are talking about babies, okay? So when I got out, I had met this guy, David, and he got me pregnant almost right away. I was 18. We met 18, I got pregnant at 18, and he told me, he essentially admitted to trying to entrap me. And he was abusive. He didn't even want me to know how to drive a car. He told me I was too dumb to learn how to drive. I would never be able to. Didn't want me to work, but we had no money. At that point, I had almost starved to death. I was hospitalized for malnutrition because there was just no money for food. Anyway, so he got me pregnant intentionally, and he was pissed when I told him I didn't want it. He was furious. Oh my god, I thought I was gonna die. I did the pill abortion, and I don't recommend it. I would have rather had the surgery. It was, you feel like you're vomiting up your own organs. Like, I literally thought my heart was gonna come out of my mouth. Like, it was the pain. You feel like all of your organs are being ejected from your body from multiple holes. It's as painful as it sounds, and it lasts for days. I don't recommend that at all. If for some unfortunate reason I ever needed to get another abortion, which I don't see myself having, I would have the surgery. Like, no question about it. That was terrible. But I'm really glad that I don't have that kid either, because that's an abusive man who, I'm so glad we broke up. I moved across the country to get away from him. He tried to kill me when I tried to leave him. He broke into our apartment after I kicked him out and dragged me up the stairs by my hair, and then threw money at me and told him that I should fuck him like a prostitute. And that he was gonna kill me. Okay. Pregnancy number 3. It gets sadder. Okay. I've been with my man for 7 years, and I think 3 years into it, I think it was maybe 2 years into it, I got pregnant, and I didn't tell him because I was going to. I had work the night that I found out, and I went to my client's house, and that was the night I had my overdose. So that's what happened there. I didn't tell him till years and years later. What is there to say? I'm really sad about that one. I would have kept that baby. That one makes me really sad. I still want kids, and I think maybe one day that will happen. Again, I'm one of those people, I do think things happen for a reason, and maybe if I was a mom at this point, I wouldn't have been able to meet you and do all the things that we do together, like the company and videos and all that. Aside, it still makes me so sad, and that happened a long time ago. One of these days, I'm totally gonna have a kid. I do, in fact. Her name's Kinsley. So, there you have it. 3 pregnancies, no babies, drug dealer, abusive boyfriend, drug overdose. Okay? Well, how are we gonna end this on a happy note? Do you like my lipstick? I was going through old makeup and I found this. And I was like, oh, that's pretty poppin'. Let me put it on for my abortion video and see if people notice. Oh God, I want this to be over already. But we have to end it with something positive. I'm so glad that Planned Parenthood was able to prevent me from horrible mistakes and things that I was too ignorant to know about. I didn't know about, well, I knew of birth control when I was a teenager, but I didn't know how to obtain it. And they helped me get the things that I needed to prevent pregnancy from happening again. You know, happening again many years later, but still, you know what I'm saying. So shout out to Planned Parenthood, shout out to pro-choice. And if you're a teenager and you're watching this and you're like, what the hell, I'm pregnant. It's like, girl, it's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but it's not okay. It's going to be okay. Look, I did it. I made it out. You're gonna be fine. Maybe not, you're not okay now. I get that. That's very real. But you do have a choice. So don't just be thinking, oh, I'm screwed now. I have to have this kid. You only have to have the kid if you want to have the kid. And if you don't, that's okay too. It's really up to you. I know it sounds cliche, your body, your choice. But the reason why it's so played out is because it's true. It really is. Don't let anyone pressure you into doing something with your body that you don't want to do. The best advice I can give you, that goes across the board to anyone who's watching this video, you have more control than you think. You just have to take it. Alright, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. I'm fine. I don't need hugs or compassion. I know that last one was hard to talk about. Feeling the feels. But it's over. It was over a long time ago. Stop it. I don't have feelings, okay? Just keep hair flipping. Just keep hair flipping. Hair flip the pain away. Okay, I have to go. We're just gonna eat some cookies. Huh? Huh? Cookies and coffee. See, things are getting better already. Okay, bye.